everyone. Super thrilled to be with you all again today. I absolutely love these types of days where I get to speak with amazing people all over the world who are doing amazing things, who are releasing the impact that they have been endowed with, who are, oh my goodness, who are living in their calling. And so today is no different. I am super thrilled to have on the show today with me Christina. Now, I want to make sure I pronounce your last name correctly. Tell me how to pronounce it right.
It's Balzani.
Balzani.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm particular about pronouncing names correctly.
For sure.
Because, I've had Katrina, I've had Karena, and I'm like,
I get it.
I've had, oh my goodness, first name, last name, maiden name, everything just butchered. So I'm sensitive to that. I am super thrilled that you're on the show today, Christina. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You are very welcome. You are very welcome. So, Christina, tell us where in the world you are.
Well, at the moment, I am located in South Florida, and I'm visiting my beautiful children and grandchildren and my very good friends, my squad, I call them. I mentioned that in my book. And it's nice and sunny.
I love that. I love that. I've been to Florida. I want to get back. So right now you're visiting in Florida. So where are you typically located then?
I am located in Northern California, a little south of San Francisco on the ocean. So I get from one beautiful state to another. So I'm pretty blessed.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love that. I love that 100%. I love the beach. I love the water. I love the ocean. Mm-hmm. And just the fact that you're able to go from one coast to the other is just absolutely phenomenal. Yes, that is truly a blessing. So are you a seafood lover?
I love seafood. In fact, I was in Seattle and I had to have seafood on the water. That was like a bucket list of mine. So I did the whole big plate of seafood with the corn and the bread and it was just amazing. But it had to be.
Oh my goodness. Seattle. Oh my goodness. I love that. That sounds amazing. My family, we are huge seafood lovers. I mean, that's been in my family for years. And so anytime I hear anyone that's, near some water, I'm like, how's y'all seafood? Because, oh my goodness, I can eat it all day, every day. Oh my goodness. So, Christina, I would love to know the question that I ask everyone, and everyone answers differently because it really depends on, have you really dialed into your calling in life? And are you aware of it? Have you dialed into it? Do you know exactly what you need to be doing? Maybe not exactly, but just really understanding that there's a need for you. So I want to ask you the same question. How are you loving on the world around you?
Oh, wow. Well, being an MRI tech for over 30 years, I learned compassion. And last year I decided to write a book on part of my life. And actually it's the first in a series. And I believe I'm loving by sharing my testimony with those around me and letting them know they're not alone, that they have a voice and that it's okay. Whatever they go through is not necessarily their fault, especially as children. Yeah.
So what prompted this? What made you dial into this specific area? Because this is a very touchy area, but it's a area that, me personally, I just believe if we were able to really lean into this area of our lives, then there would be a lot more that we would accomplish, because there's just things that, has transpired in our lives that are potentially holding us back and we're not even aware. So what got you started in this?
Well, I was at a conference in LA last, I want to say April, May, and I went to these classes furthering the conference, and one was called Life on Fire, and they talked about author, speaker, coach. And I was driving in traffic. What a shocker in LA, right? I'm driving in traffic and I just heard in my heart, you're going to write a book. And I said, oh, okay. and I had to write it over 4 times. I sent it to my publisher. The first time it was just like one big journal, just getting it all out. And then step by step by step, it became my 4th time. That's when we published, and it became bestseller. And it is not an easy subject. It's about childhood sexual abuse, called Dry Your Eyes, Girl. And what it does, it allows the reader to know that they have a voice, that they can use their voice, and that they can know that they matter and their voice matters. And what happened to them is not their fault. And a lot of people, such as myself, kept quiet for way too long. And I didn't keep quiet. I mean, I kept quiet until I started having flashbacks at 32. My oldest was turning 5 years old, and that's when it happened to me the first time. And something happens inside of you, this is what I make up, that something happens inside of you where when your first child or any of your children are that age with what happened to you, when they're turning that age, something inside you gets something, I don't know how to put it, stirred up. And so I started having flashbacks, and one was so bad that I saw my uncle in the mirror behind, like he was, literally I saw his face in the mirror, and it was just really weird. But one night, and this is for me, and my reader doesn't have to be Christian, but I saw Jesus hanging on the cross out of a dead sleep. And then I knew that I had to start something. And that was the beginning of a journey. That was 32 years old. I'm now 57. So it took a while for me to heal, come out, and a lot of work. And then to write the book it's just the beginning. It's the first book in a series, actually. So, yeah.
Wow. So amazing. So needed. This is not one of those episodes where, I really believe, I'm not going to say this is not, I really believe this is one of those episodes where people will listen and digest and get healing just from listening.
I hope so. That's the goal.
And I love the fact that you say it's not just for Christians. It's not just for believers. It's for anyone.
Anyone. Exactly.
And that's what's key. You're a Christian, you're a believer. I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, but that doesn't mean we can't appeal to other people, because people in general need healing. And this is what is absolutely 100% necessary.
Yeah.
And I haven't been 100% vocal with things that have happened with me in my past, but I have made it known publicly. And it is difficult. It is hard to make that forward step to, express what has happened and make it known, and then to say, I want to heal from it. But you're 100% right. Especially as a mother, I do believe that when we have our children, then we understand that at some point that age, we're like clamped on, like, oh my goodness. Because I know for myself, with my own daughter, at the age I was, that she turned, then I was the exact same way.
Exactly.
So for those that are listening, there's an opportunity for healing for you.
Yes, I agree 100%. For those listening, you matter. Your voice matters. Use your voice. Find your voice. That's what I would say to them.
Yeah, and I love that you spoke about seeing Jesus. I know for myself, I had a similar experience, and it was a turning point in my life. He let me know the love and how much I mattered. Yes. And it's not something that you can necessarily readily articulate, but it is something that is overwhelmingly amazing. I will never forget that experience. I was home by myself the same way, was in bed, sleep, and woke up and saw a vision. And, and for those that are listening, this is not a requirement for your healing. This is a tool that can possibly be in place for you in your healing process.
Yeah.
So, I just want to thank you, Christina, for bringing this to the world, because too many people are still holding on to what's been hidden.
Yeah.
And that is at the inside of us. What has been your experience with that?
Well, I believe you have to go through to let it out. That's one of my beliefs. And my experience also I've had to choose forgiveness. I've had to forgive. And I mention it in the book about forgiving my mother, because my mother patted me on the head at 5 years old and said, go play. No one will believe you. What 5-year-old, and I've forgiven my mother. Years later, I had a conversation with her, and I'm not going to get into the whole conversation, but at the end of the conversation, she says, well, baby, she goes, I just didn't believe you. And I'm so sorry. She just didn't know what to do with it. She was a young mom. She had me at 21. She had my brother at 19. She made decisions. She wasn't perfect. She did the best with what she has, as we all do. But I've had to forgive. I've forgiven her a long time ago. And for me, the exciting thing for me as a believer, 6 months before she died, she accepted Christ as a devout atheist. So that's just a little powerful tidbit.
Yeah. Oh, that is amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
So you talked about your book. So tell us about the book, the name of the book, where we can find it. You told us how you had to write it. You had to keep doing it numerous times. And I kind of want to put this out there. Now, you haven't told me this, but I suspect that you didn't have to do it to make it perfect. You had to do it because the right amount of you had to be in there.
You just hit the nail on the head, Karina. It was writing it, and at first it was just, like I said, one big puking out all my emotions. Big journal. And our mutual friend, my publisher, and she's amazing, Star, but she said to me, no, you have about 4 books in you. And I said, really? Okay. And my experience was, in other words, not making it all about me, but about others, and including others in the book. So yes, I did get the big journal out, and I got all that out. However, the main goal is to see others the way they can see themselves, and to hopefully get past any trauma and anything. And I'm not sweeping trauma under the rug. Trust me. In the book, it gets deep. And my next one will be even deeper, but that's another conversation. That's just it. My experience is just be real, be real. I had to do it for me and for others.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we thank you, honestly, for leading in this area, because, again, so many people have hidden this. I don't know what the stats are. I remember hearing years ago stats on the amount of women who have been traumatized and have never spoken about it. And I remember they were staggering. And that was years ago.
Crazy. It's crazy. In the book, I mentioned at least 80 to 85% of the population, 60% being women, have been through some sort of childhood sexual abuse, whether it's one-time inappropriate touching, some sort of. Doesn't have to go through exact, how people imagine it. So that's why people downplay it. They downplay it, like, oh, they only touched me once, or, oh, it wasn't that big a deal. No, it's a big deal, period. It is a big deal, no matter how you look at it, how you slice it. In my eyes, the first time is too much. And that's what I explain. When you're a child, whether you're 6, whether you're 20, whether you're 18, 40, anything, you can let it out. You have a voice. Find your voice, use your voice matters. Yeah. That's my hashtags. That is totally what it is.
Yeah. So tell us the name of the book again.
Oh, yes. It's called Dry Your Eyes, Girl. And it's from surviving to thriving after childhood sexual abuse. And it is available on Amazon. And right now it's not on Audible or anything like that yet, but
Yet.
yeah. It was, yes. And it was just actually at the Los Angeles Times Book Fair.
Wow.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah, my website's still under construction, but it is christinasafespace.com. And that'll be I'm getting some stuff redone also in the book. But thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for everything. I appreciate you letting me get my message out there, Karina.
Absolutely.
I'm so thrilled and so honored to be here.
You know, I meet folks, I meet a lot of people, honestly, on a daily basis, virtually. And I've talked to people all over the world. And there are just some folks who, you know, I know that if given the opportunity to meet face to face, there's a hug involved. And I can tell you, Christina, if you and I meet face to face, there's a hug involved.
Absolutely. Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Because I absolutely love what you're doing. I resonate with what you're doing. I believe what you're doing is needed. So keep going, keep moving forward. And, you know, we're going to be praying that folks will really begin to get the healing that they deserve, that they desire and deserve.
They do.
So thank you so very much. Any last words of wisdom for the folks that are listening?
Just know that you matter. Know that your voice matters. Use it and just love yourself. Love yourself. And for me, love God. That's just me.
Yes, absolutely. Well, folks, this has been another great episode of Go Be Great with Coach Karena. I am your host and your business and life strategist, 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐩, and I will see you all on the flip side. Bye for now.